Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today, well, it's definitely the season for rumours. So we've got another rumour, another leak that's come about in probably the last couple of days, over the course of the last week. And yeah, it's a pretty chunky leak, there's a lot in there. So what we're going to do is going to have a quick look at it. It comes hot on the heels of the Netflix leak that we've apparently got regarding a Final Fantasy VII spin-off series, like an anime series or something like that. I've done a video on that, so please do check that out. Also, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe on the video for future content, but let's jump straight into this leak. Now, the leak itself comes from someone called Navtra, who's got a good track record in the community recently when it comes to Square Enix information, and not only that, PlayStation information as well. In recent memory, Navtra has released a fairly decent amount of information that's turned out to be true. There was some information regarding the PS5, there was some information regarding some Avengers DLC, there was also some information that came out regarding Final Fantasy 16. So it's someone who's definitely got some sort of inside track, got some information. They've been correct a few times recently, so there is a bit of weight behind these rumors. So let's jump straight into them. So the initial post reads like this. I believe you can expect at least one more major Final Fantasy announcement in addition to updates on currently announced stuff. So that means it's not 16, it's not 14, it's not 7 Remake related. We're going to get those updates anyway, they're separate to this. I don't know their exact E3 schedule, but I'm guessing based on knowledge of what games they have in development, how far they are in, and their target release dates, so take it with a grain of salt. I believe we're getting 2 major Square Enix reveals this June, a PS5 exclusive Final Fantasy title, and a cross-gen IDOS title. Just to set expectations, it's something new, not as high-end as Final Fantasy 16 or Forspoken, but certainly more significant than a World of Final Fantasy or a remaster. Conceptually, I think it might be up many people's alley. And that was the initial post. From that, we can take that it is something completely new in the Final Fantasy universe. The first thing that I thought when I saw this was that it was going to be something along the line of tactics or something like that. At the very least, something related to Ivalice or something. Because, it's quite a popular theme and quite a popular world in the Final Fantasy fan base. It makes sense for them to put something in there. We've not had a tactics game for a long time. It would have made sense. But we did get further clarification on this. So Navtra came back and went on to say that it's not Ivalice, it's not tactics, and it's not a Warriors game. Don't set yourselves up for disappointment. So that just completely destroys any thought of it being something along the line of tactics or something like that, which left a lot of people speculating. There was a lot of people that wanted a Warriors type game as well, that, they were quite excited for that. That's out of the window. And after this, there was one thing that was questioned because Navtra came out and debunked the Warriors and the Ivalice rumours, but they didn't say anything about it being a Souls-like game. And Navtra then came back again and said it's tricky, it's certainly Souls-inspired, but it's not exactly what you'd imagine when you hear Souls-like Final Fantasy. And at this point, everyone's basically thinking that we're getting a Souls-like Final Fantasy game, which would definitely be an interesting concept. I'd be up for that 100%. But then there was another leak that came from a French leaker called Souls Hunt, who again has provided correct information about things in the past. And what they've said in a recent video is that this yet to be announced game is currently in development by Team Ninja, and that it's heavily inspired by From Software's Souls series. And if you know who Team Ninja are, you obviously know that they've worked on games like the Ninja Gaiden series, they've worked on like the Dead or Alive series, they've worked on Hyrule Warriors and things like that. They've even worked on Final Fantasy titles like Dissidia, and they also worked on Opera Omnia. But one of the major titles that they've worked on in recent years is Neo. And that is very much a Souls-like, it's not the same as Dark Souls, but it's definitely in that same sort of vein, that type of gameplay. So that kind of leans into the Navtra leak 100% and kind of leaves me pretty solidly convinced that we're probably going to get something here, because both of these people that have come out and spoken about it have been proven to be correct about things in the past, especially relating to, in Navtra's case, Square Enix and PlayStation. So the fact that both of these leaks have kind of come at the same time, I don't know whether there's been any coordination there or anything like that, but, they've both come at roughly the same time and they're both saying roughly the same sort of thing. I think it's looking extremely likely that we are going to get an announcement of a Final Fantasy / Neo hybrid potentially, which I'm not going to lie, that's mouth-watering. Like, Neo's such a good game. I've still not played Neo 2, I need to grab it. But Neo, the first Neo, is so good. And to combine that kind of gameplay with the Final Fantasy franchise and the level of storytelling that you get in the Final Fantasy franchise, well, it can't be bad, surely. No, it could be bad, definitely. Obviously, they need to deliver it correctly. But, just imagine that type of gameplay coming along with the storytelling of the Final Fantasy franchise. It could be something special. Now, they have said that it's not going to be like a AAA level game, but it's not going to be the same sort of thing as like a World of Final Fantasy or just a remaster of an old game or anything like that. So it's definitely going to kind of fall, I don't know, maybe in like the double A tier, something like that. But it remains to be seen what kind of quality and what kind of concept they come out with for this game. And it might not be Final Fantasy crossed with Neo, basically. It could be something a bit different. We're just going to have to kind of wait and see on that one because even with all the information that we've got, the only kind of thing that it hints towards is like a Final Fantasy Neo type game. That's kind of all the information that we've got at the moment. So, yeah, what do you think? What kind of game do you think that we're going to get? Do you think that the rumour's true? Do you think it's just one of those things that gets thrown out there? I would normally dismiss rumours like this, like there was all the rumours with Final Fantasy VII Definitive Edition getting announced at the concert and stuff like that. I wasn't feeling it. I'm normally quite sceptical when it comes to these sort of rumours. But this one's got a lot of weight behind it. And same with the Netflix one from the other day. Like, both of these rumours have come out and they both make a lot of sense, and B, they're not just plucked out of thin air. There is something to them. There is a bit of substance to these rumours. And also, as part of the leak, what do you think that IDOS game's going to be? I've not really seen any conversation about that IDOS game whatsoever. If I was to guess, do you know what? I'm just going to completely wing this. I've got a gut feeling that it's going to have something to do with that Chocobo GP trademark that was done a few months ago. I think it was just before Christmas. It was around the same time that we were getting all the Ever Crisis and the First Soldier, when the first little tidbits of news of that were coming out. They just trademarked the name Ever Crisis, and within the same, I believe it was within the same fortnight, they'd done Chocobo GP. I don't know. Could this be that? Could the IDOS game be that? Who knows? But either way, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you up for this kind of Neo/hybrid Final Fantasy game? Does that tickle your fancy? Don't forget to like and subscribe, but more importantly than anything, have a great day.